Hello guys, welcome back from the long break we took on this channel. I'm greeting you all back to this channel. This is Lizzieclickklie tutorial for champions LTC, and I'm the coach in this channel. And we have different coaches that will be taking you on different topics. So today we are taking you to physics where it will stop being confusing and start making sense. If you have ever asked why does this even matter, you are in the right place. Let's break it down and solve it together and ace the exam. Are you ready for today's topic? Let's go into today's physics. So our uncle will take it from there.
So welcome everyone. Now look at what we have on the board. This is just like a very basic topic in physics, and I'll be running you through it just in less than 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes I will explain all you need to understand about this topic and to stop being confusing. Now let's look at what we have on the board. We have fundamental units, or let's say fundamental and derived units. Then we have fundamental quantities and derived quantities. Fundamental, derived units and quantities. So these are four topics together. The first one is fundamental units. The second one is derived units. The third one is fundamental quantities. The fourth one is derived quantities. So there are four subheading which are together but they are different. They mean different things. Now let's look at the first one, fundamental. From the word fundamental. Fundamental means basic. Means something basic. So what does it mean when we say fundamental units? Okay, the meaning of the word units means something that is just standing on itself. Units. So when we say we have fundamental units, now these units are the basic units that of measurements which are generally accepted. They are the basic units of measurement which are generally accepted. Or if I like, I can say fundamental units are the units in which measurements are made. So they are the units in which measurements are made. What do I mean by that? Look at what I'm having here. I'm having a board here. From here to here, I can say, okay, here to here. That's a measurement, or that's a kind of a dimension, or the height of the board. How do I measure it? I measure it in either centimeter, or millimeter, or meter, or kilometer, depending on the length of the object. Okay, so here now I can now say fundamental units. Now, how do we measure length or distance? Distance or length. So we measure it using meter. So the meter here is the fundamental units. Fundamental unit, unit of measurements, measurement of distance. Distance can be measured in meter. If it's 1,000 meters, it becomes a kilometer. Or centimeter, which is a lesser unit of a meter. Or millimeter, which is way lesser. So just like that. Now let's look at another one. If we say we have mass. Mass, or we can say weight of an object. How do we measure that? We can measure it using kilogram. Kilogram as the weight of an object. Now let's look at it. Another one is temperature. Like we know, temperature is just the degree of hotness and coolness of the body. Now how do we measure it? What is the basic, the smallest unit of measurement? Temperature can be measured in Kelvin. Temperature. Okay, so that is in Kelvin. So we can measure it in Kelvin. Now we have any other measurement, like any other measurement you can think about. How do we measure time? Let's look at time. So how can we measure time? We can measure time, or what is the smallest unit of measurement of time? The smallest unit of measurement of time, it is what? Seconds. Remember, we have hour, we have minutes, and we have seconds. So the smallest unit of time is second, and so on and so forth. We have other ones like we have the Weber, we have the Candela, we have the mole. Yes, mole. Just like in chemistry, let's say the unit of a substance, let's say like a substance. So the unit is mole. Substance. So the unit is mole. So basically, when we say fundamental units are the units of measurements. like any measurement or any any measurement of any substance that can be determined. So we determine them by their fundamental units. So that is the first one I'm going to explain. Now, the second one that we are having here is the derived units. Now we are still on units. Fundamental means basic units. Derived means the units that are being derived by combining fundamental units together. The units that are being what? Derived by combining fundamental units together. Like look at this, for example now, I said time. How do we measure time? In seconds. Let's write 6. Then here, let's say for example, length or distance. So how do we measure distance? We say meter. We say meter. Now here, from here we can get derived units. Derived units are those units that are gotten from fundamental units by combining. When we combine them together, let's say by combining multiplication, division. So for example now here, if I say I have velocity, for example, let's say I have velocity for example. Now what is the unit of velocity? That is meter per seconds. Distance divided by time. That is it. So the formula for velocity is distance or displacement over time taken. Or let's say speed. That's meter per seconds. So this unit here becomes a what? A derived unit. Now another one is, let's say for example, I have area. Now how do we determine area? We see area is length times breadth. So how do we measure length? We measure length in meter. Then how do we measure breadth? Also in meter. So that is m squared. So these are what? They are derived units, and so on and so forth. So any units that are being gotten from the basic ones, either by multiplication or by division, we call them derived units. So I think I've done justice to that. This is the basic. This is derived by combining the two of them together. I think we should stop here in this one. So I've explained the first two.